So now I can take a video of myself taking a video. I've never been able to do that before. Isn't this remarkable? Now I don't know how to do the picture-in-picture either. But what's happened here is that I broke the bottom of that camera, and this camera is good. So let me see. I don't know how to turn it off. Or pause it. You wouldn't believe it if I told you. We're going for a drive. To hell with it. Okay. Alright, let's warm up the old machine here. We'll crank the heat up for a bit. Let's get the old windshield wipers going. Front and back. And one thing I did, we'll get you. There we go. That should work good. Let me see. Alright. You wonder what I'm doing out here in the rain. This could be a long story, or it could be a short story. But some of you guys are married. You'll understand. Oh. 4:43 in the afternoon. Let's go check on Bucky the Beaver. I don't know if this is going to stay there or not. Let's try that. There we go. Let's try that. So I'll do my best to explain this so that y'all can understand. The little woman doesn't want to know too much about technology. So first she had me help her with the computer. That kind of went all right for a change. Usually I have to walk away and roaring like a lunatic because you don't get it. Well, then it was, she made a list for me to do. But it's the stuff that I want to do. What the hell is she doing on my list? And I don't need to have a list. It's all up in the old noggin. I know where everything is, what everything is, and whatever. So she got on to me about the frickin' thing in the garage. You see, that's always bent. Well, I know why it's bent now, because behind it, it's stuck to the wall a little bit, and it's ruined the paint. But she won't watch these videos, so somebody will have to tell her. So, I went out to the garage and I got that off. Well, on my list. But actually, that's her list, because I didn't really care one way or another. Then she complained about, and brings it up again, about the heat. I told her I'm freezing to death. I'm always freezing to death in that house. She's a little bit of a hot-blooded woman, I guess you would say. Her background is French and Irish. What a mix. So anyway, she never wants to learn about how the heat works. She doesn't understand Celsius too well. But it's only been like Celsius since I was a kid, so that's 60 years we've had Celsius. And we have a mix of Celsius and Fahrenheit and English and Imperial and I don't know. I hate the hell, like, should give her a quiz to find out what she actually knows. She's a registered, or was, a registered nurse. She should know all this kinds of stuff anyway. So, back to the heat. I tell her, 20.5 is too cold. It's only 68 degrees. A little more. Most homes heat between 68 and 72. She's still complaining about the temperature. Well, I took the blanket away from her feet, and she says she's cold. Yeah, well, I'm cold, and I don't sit at my desk, and it's not 21 down in my room. It's a lot warmer, but it's still cold. Only reason it's warmer is because I have a solarium off the side that used to have doors to keep the heat in, but luckily for me, the doors are, well, she had them removed. But if she knew that I was going to be warm from the solarium, she would never have removed the doors. But that's not here nor there right now. There's no beaver activity. And I'm going to kill some time down here to get my head on straight. So anyway, I turn it up to 21, which is about 70 degrees. And she says, well, I don't want to get too hot because then the dogs will suffer. And I'm thinking, oh my God. I had said it for years, and we've only been in there and had this since 2014 when we bought it, to put the geothermal in. And she says, years? How long is years? That sounds like an awful long time. And I say, years. Anything more than 2, which is a couple, it's years. What's so hard about that? So more complaining. So anyway, I turn it to 21, and she decides now she wants to have the fire. But she's got junk all over the freaking thing. She's got, there's a water bowl that goes on top of the fireplace because when the wood is burning, it can get drier in the house. So the heat from the fire warms up the water and it causes it to evaporate and helps with the humidity in the house. So she had bulrushes or some damn thing stuck in the thing, and I said, we have to move that. You can't have all these flammables around the fireplace. Then she wants a hook where I can't put a hook because I can't get my fingers in there to turn the damn thing. And it's one of these mantles that she had put up. Now whoever did the work didn't do a very good job. And it's forever getting filled in, painted over, and whatnot. But that's neither here nor there. Then she moved the bucket that had all these red orchids, or whatever they are, sticks sticking out of it. And I hate those damn sticks, because every time you walk by them, you don't really notice them because they're really small. And she's got the, bats and ghosts and craps hanging off of them. So anyway, she moves the bucket down by the door where the dogs come in and out of. And she says, well, you don't need to be swinging the door open so big. All the way to let the dogs in and out. My God. It's unbelievable what goes through that poor woman's mind. And I got to deal with this, you guys. Next, I'm getting close to being able to light the fire. And I want to light the fire in front of the camera so that I can share it with you folks. Especially this fire, because it's the first one of the year. Well, she's got a witch on a broom and a fishing line hanging off of the fire utensils. I said, well, I can't go there. But you can do I got one of those replies. The ones you can't answer to because you're thinking, holy Jesus, man, what's wrong with you? So anyway, that's where she wants to hook it up into a place where I can't get my hands into. I said, look at my fingers. I can't get in there. And then it's as if it's a freaking act of God. It's my problem because my fingers are too big. There's something wrong with that. So anyway, I fill up the water jug. And she's arguing, I want the bucket moved. And she thinks that I'm calling that thing the bucket. Well, it's not the bucket. It's the water jug for the water so that it can evaporate and, the moisture thing, right? Well, she's mopping floors, but she's been sitting in front of the computer for hours. And I'm getting the idea, I know she'll get into a big frenzy and tell me how hard she works, but then again, she comes up and then she says, now it's time to freaking cuddle. Well, geez, I don't want to cuddle that. It's a freaking crazy woman. So anyway, I pushed the bucket into the front, into the mudroom. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm close. I says, would you like to be in the video? Oh, I got no makeup on. I'm not dressed for it. I'm still in a nightshirt, blah, 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 blah. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you guys. Now, I decided the best and smartest thing that I could do is come out here and warm up away from her. And my hands are freaking freezing. It's like ice out here. So I'm going to take it easy for a while. In the other video I made today, I can tell you stuff that you can't tell because I didn't tell it yet. I'm trying to get it ready so that I can put it up on the internet. I dropped the camera a couple times. Luckily it survived in its new case. Then when I was frigging with it, I broke the cover off of the waterproof case. Luckily I figured out how to snap it back on, so that's good to go. And anyway, I used the chainsaw and I cleaned up around where I mow and that upper field. Because I'm always running into branches and it takes my hat off when I drive by because I'm always looking somewhere else, and then the branch will take your hat off, and then you gotta stop, and I don't like to stop because it takes like, I don't know, 6-8 hours to mow the lawns up top there without coming down here. So anyway, I cleaned up all those sticks and I went down and I started cutting that big freaking poplar tree. And I managed to saw off 4 more feet. But now, it's hung up again. And luckily, this big cloud of mist blew in, and it started kind of raining again. So I thought, oh, well, the best thing to do would be is to hook onto it with the chain or a rope and the cable and see if I could pull it off of that freaking tree again. Now, I've had to cut a couple of trees down, but they weren't very big, and it makes a Dutchman. I know what a Dutchman is. They're dangerous as hell. Luckily, the tree's only about 4 or 5 inches around, or through the center, and they come down pretty easy. So anyway, I'm going to have to get in there and then use that freaking cable and pull it down. I got a little bit of wood cut to split, but it's really hard to get the wood now. It's, well, between it being all this rain we got this month, which is good. I'm not knocking the rain. I'd rather have the rain right now than snow. Well, our next month coming up, it's going to be the second wettest month that we have. But what's good about it is it's getting the woods nice and wet. It's going to replenish or help to replenish a lot of the wells. Because when I was digging potatoes here just a couple days back, although the surface of the garden was moist and wet, you didn't have to go 4 or 5 inches and it was already quite dry. So we need a ton of rain here, which we usually get when there's the snow melt in the spring. If you cut all the trees off, like this idiot next to me here, this Irving, what he ends up doing is basically clear cutting all the trees off, and then he bakes the surface of the property over there, and the water melts so fast that it just runs off, and then that's the end of it. It ends up in the rivers, the streams to the brooks, the rivers, and it ends up flooding the city down in Fredericton. Pretty near every year, but this year, thank God for that. We've had a couple of record floods in the city, except for this year, for a change, because we probably didn't get super fast snow melt, but there was a ton of snow. You'll see if you go back in the channel to last year, or you just wait another month or so, and we'll have about 3, 4, 5 feet of snow, up to 1 or 2 meters. So that's that. It's nice and warm in here. I should keep cranking that frickin' heat up. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna. I see the mother-in-law. When the mother-in-law sits in here, my wife has to take the synchronized heat off so Granny doesn't get too hot. Then my wife usually turns the air conditioning or the heat right off, or next to nothing. It's cold. It's 5 degrees out. It's like freaking winter here now. It just turned fall. So, I'm calming down. Oh. Yeah, that's 20 minutes. Well, let's waddle back to the house here, because I do have another video that I got to get out, where you can see me cutting that stupid tree down. It's getting there. I need to cut that one down too. The only problem with cutting trees down here is that I got it too far to lug them back. And I don't want to use that old trailer, and I don't want to use this Jeep for it either. That's not the plan. So, a shout out to John Charney. I used to work with a guy named John. Or not John, Mr. Charney. 20-some years ago in the gas plant. Anyway, hope all gets mended up here soon and you can get back out of the hospital. It's an awful long time to be in there. I don't know how old you are, but I suppose I'm destined to be there soon too. I watched a funny video there about this guy who was complaining about getting old. Didn't realize all the problems of getting old were. I understand now why my mom always had the heat cranked up to frickin' 90, even in the summer, and the sun would be blazing outside. Oh, man, it whips me out there. So, Andy, I see that you're finally, that now that your wife is letting you use the Facebook, I see you're having a really good time with it. I like Facebook. It's changed over the last year since the pandemic hit. People are sure critical. Let me see. Put the defrost on here. Now I changed the color to natural in the camera, both of them to the same, to see what the videos would look like. I'm going to do it again, and maybe, because I play a computer game, and the color I like the most is vivid. So we'll try this for a bit, and then we'll turn it on to vivid. So this is the back of the Big Beaver Dam, and there's not really any water out here yet. I'd show you, but then I gotta frig around with the camera on the dash again. So, it's not happening. And I gotta go to the city to get a special doorknob so that my grandson can't open up the basement door. Can't use a simple little hook while he's there. We gotta get a special doorknob, and what I should do is teach him how to fool with it so he could open up the door, and then we could put the little latch on there that he can't reach. Heaven forbid I wouldn't want anything to happen to him. He's probably got enough bumps and scrapes going on as it is. He just started walking, I don't know, a few months back. He's a busy little bugger. We're going to plant some trees, and if I remember, on the way back, I'll point them out. They should be good where they go. Now, just gotta blow my nose here. I've seen a really nice piece of property. And if you're a rich American, or rich anybody, it's $209,000. It's 240 acres, and it comes with its own little mountaintop. And down here we don't have big mountains, so it's a little mountaintop. And I would love to buy it. The problem is, the house on it needs a roof right away. Plus, probably $150,000 worth of renovations to get it up to snuff. The lucky thing is, there is a 240 acres worth of trees, and there's enough space cleared out around the house where it sits to have a sizable fenced-in garden. And there should be all kinds of moose there, as well as white-tailed deer and every other critter, and maybe not beavers, but it's not far from Beaverville, and it's not far from St. John or Fredericton. It's kind of in between. I prefer the woods myself over having a big empty field. But who knows? I'm really enjoying looking in through the trees here. Let me show you. Look at that, you can see a way in there. Normally in the summer, you can't see 2 feet off the side of the road. See this? Come in here with a chainsaw and cut the odd tree out. That'll allow the other trees to grow. And a dead tree. So I gotta come in here soon. Start working away at this. And you gotta do it now because you can't do it in the freaking, by the time June 1st hits, this is Bug City. That's another thing the little woman was saying. I thought you were gonna go down and clean it up. Like, can take you a month. That's just cutting and lugging. There. See? That's not bad. That's Jim Brook. So, let's keep waddling back. Ooh, I must admit, she's toasty in here now. It's 5 degrees Celsius out there right now. So that might be like 40 American temperature. Oop, is that garbage? No, just a piece of birch bark. Yes, I have a cage to catch the raccoons with now. I'll put a serious dent in their population. I see somebody went and lit the toilet paper on fire in some stores in Walmart stores in Ontario. That's a bad boy. Don't want to spark another toilet paper rampage. No chickens. They must be hunkered down underneath something here. No. I just want to cut enough wood for firewood. And that, 5 trees a year maybe, if they're a reasonable size. I did print out a chart that I could use for measuring them. You need at least, one tree that's 2 feet across will give you 1 cord of wood. I'll show you something here. You might not be able to see it. You see these trees that are growing up here? Some of them are cedars. But if you look back in there, there's that little bit of an opening back there. Those are all fir type trees. And they'll grow like crazy here. Oh, I see there's a piece of firewood I could get right there too. It's already blown down. There's a couple of them like that. That one there we cut a couple of years back. It fell across the road. We had to cut it out in springtime. But see, nothing grows down in here where it's all dense, dark. The canopy's closed. But where it opens up, you see that little tree growing there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, there must be 50 of them. They will grow, and they really grow quick, tall, and straight because they're trying to get to the lake themselves. So I wonder how's it going to be when we get home. Well, here's another little thing, little tidbit of information. This field has got almost all the rocks got out of it. And the farmers, long ago, would load up a wagon, and they would come off to the edge of the fields, and that's when they start dumping them. You can see that there's a bunch of big rocks here. And that's what I suspect had happened. What I'd like to be able to do is make some trails that I could walk in there. But not gonna do it. So here we are. And one thing is, if you do get to drive on the property, don't drive where you already drove once. That way we can, every time you drive on this, kind of damages and packs it down. So if we spread that out, it won't be so bad. So we'll just go up here on the high side. Looks like somebody else drove down here. So I wonder what kind of how that's going to go with the getting the fire lit. Oh, I'm glad I got 2 cameras now. That really makes a big difference. There are robins there still. That wagon there, I should sell. Mind you, I could fill it up full of wood that I cut down there and pull it back, but funds are very limited here at Sheepy Hollow now that I've retired. I don't have one of those big high-paying jobs anymore. No pension. Just the pittance that the government gives me. This looks nice here now. I mowed this here the other day. You see some of the grass is trying to grow up. It's full of burdocks in there. Boys, this looks really nice now that it's been mowed. So, we're going to plant some more trees along here. You see those sticks sticking up? Those are all sugar maple. So I'll just come up here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm thinking another row or 2 and just work my way down the hill. Get them spaced as far apart as where they are from the oaks that are there. So maybe right straight out front from here. I'm not sure how many you got, but that'd be a few holes, and we'll get put some sticks into them. And that'll look, the side of this hill will look nice someday. Not in my lifetime. So here we are, we're back to the old Sheepy Hollow. The sheep's pointing his head out, coming from the east, it appears. I'm going to go for a flu shot. I don't know what anybody else's feelings on those things are. They're free for seniors, and I think the whole province gets one this year for free. We've had 2 deaths, more deaths now. We've got 4 people died in the province. And I think we're down a bit, 93 active cases. So hopefully that'll straighten itself out. Up north and east of here is where most of the cases are. They got into some schools, and I think they've closed 5 schools down. And I hope everybody recovers. And that's it. 21.8 miles to the gallon. That's not very good. Okay. Thank you for coming along. I like to wish all those to get to the end. Welcome to the new subscribers. The videos are long. They're not edited very well. And that's just the way it is. I hope you enjoy them. I don't mind making them at all. And we're up to about 303 or 304 subscribers. So share these with your friends and get them on board. Let's get to 1,000. If I can get 1,000, then I can start maybe using the money that I can make to get better software to make better videos, to get more people to be able to get a tractor maybe, or something, or an old wreck that I can go up and down the hill in. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Hope you don't mind. I'm calm now. I can go in and see what the hell's going on. It's 5:30. It's going to be dark. Oh, I don't know. 2 shakes of a wet dog's tail. So, enjoy your day, enjoy your evening, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. And that is another edition. Bye-bye.